Question 52 of the Summa Theologia is the third question in the treatise on the angels. And whereas the last question we talked about the angels in relation to bodies and whether they can assume bodies and whether they take on the function of human bodies when they assume them. In these three articles of question 52, we're going to talk about angels with regard to place, of the angels in relation to place, because if you don't have a body naturally united to you and you're invisible and really all you are is intellect and will, then are you in a place or are you everywhere? Do you fill a room? Are you in a specific spot? These are very interesting questions, okay? Like this angel that I have a picture of right here, it looks like it's in one place, but then again, it has a body because the way that we can kind of understand angels better if we give them bodies visually in art, because otherwise it would just be nothing and we wouldn't be able to really make sense of them. So because of our limitations, we have to always show the angels with bodies, but they don't have bodies naturally united to them. So whether the angel is in a place, and this may surprise you. I found this the first time I learned this in the Summa. I was kind of surprised by this. It says, it is befitting an angel to be in a place. Yet an angel and a body are said to be in a place in quite a different sense. A body is said to be in a place in such a way that it is applied to such a place according to the contact of dimensive quantity, which means that, like this highlighter right now, is in this place, and now it's in this place, and now it's in this place by dimensive quality, which means it has matter. It's taking up space, right? But there is no such quantity in the angels, for theirs is a virtual one. Consequently, an angel is said to be in a corporeal place by the application of the angelic power in any manner whatever to any place. Okay, so applying the angelic power to a place. Okay, so it's imagine where you are right now. You're probably in front of a computer, in front of your phone, okay, and you're somewhere. And imagine if you just willed to be somewhere else. Now I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself because that has more to do with movement, which we'll learn about tomorrow. So I'm going to stop right there. But it applies itself to a certain place, right? And we're kind of the same way. Like after I finish this video, I want to be in the kitchen. So I'll apply myself to a spot in the kitchen, but I got to move my body there, right? That's how I'm different from the angels. Accordingly, there is no need for saying that an angel can be deemed commensurate with a place or that he occupies a space in a continuous. For this is proper to a located body which is endowed with dimensive quantity. In a similar fashion, it is not necessary on this account for an angel to be contained by a place, because an incorporeal substance, which is an angel, virtually contains the thing with which it comes into contact, and it is not contained by it. So the angel contains the spot where it is. It isn't contained by it. And now here's an example that St. Thomas uses. For the soul is in the body as containing it. It is not contained by it. So my soul and your soul contains the body that it's in. It's not contained by it. Okay, I know it sounds like we're splitting hairs, but it's important. In the same way, an angel is said to be in a place which is corporeal, not as the thing contained, but somehow containing it. I love that. Somehow. Somehow it does it, right? It contains the place. It like applies its angelic powers to that particular place, and that's how it is where it is. Article 2, whether an angel can be in several places at once. Can it bilocate? Thomas is going to say, no, it can't. An angel's power and nature are finite, whereas the divine power and essence, which is the universal cause of all things, is infinite. Now, this also should help you to better appreciate the fact that God, because he's not finite, can be everywhere at the same time. Angels, even though they're invisible and they don't have bodies, are limited because they can only apply themselves to one place at one time, unlike God. Consequently, God, through his power, touches all things and is not merely present in some places, but is everywhere. Now, since the angel's power is finite, it does not extend to all things, but to one determined thing. For whatever is compared with one power must be compared therewith as one determining thing. Consequently, since all being is compared as one thing to God's universal power, so is one particular being compared as one with the angelic power. Hence, since the angel is in a place, by the application of its power to the place, it follows that he is not everywhere, nor in several places, but only in one place. I think, now I've taught this many times when I've taught the high school students in my online course. It makes sense to me that if you're applying yourself to a place, well, you can only be one place. If you're not infinite like God, you're in one place. And even if you're not visible and you don't have dimensive quantity, you're there, right? So then it is evident that to be in a place appertains quite differently to a body, to an angel, and to God. For a body is in a place in a circumscribed fashion, since it is measured by the place. An angel, however, is not there in a circumscribed fashion, since he is not measured by the place, but definitively, because he is in a place in such a manner that he is not in another. But God is neither circumscriptively nor definitively there, because he is everywhere. Do you see the difference between this, you and me, an angel, and God? Hopefully that makes sense. It makes sense to me. And not all these things in the Summa make sense to me, but this does. All right, let's move on to Article 3, the last article of this question, whether several angels can be at the same place at the same time. Oftentimes the medievals are made fun of because they talk about, how many angels can be on the head of a pin at the same time. I've never personally read any of that. At the same Thomas Aquinas, as far as I know, never asked that question. Maybe he does, but he doesn't in the Summa. But that's kind of like what he's getting at here. Could multiple angels be on the head of a pin at the same time? It doesn't say that, but that's what he's asking. There are not two angels in the same place. The reason of this is because it is impossible for two complete causes to be the causes immediately of the same thing. This is evident in every class of causes, for there is one proximate form of one thing, and there is one proximate mover, although there may be several remote movers. Nor can it be objected that several individuals this is a great example. Nor can it be objected that several individuals may row a boat, since no one of them is a perfect mover, because no one man's strength is sufficient for moving the boat, while all together they are as one mover. Insofar as their united strengths all combine in producing the one movement. Hence, since the angel is said to be in one place by the fact that his power touches the place immediately by way of a perfect container, as was said in Article 1, there can be but one angel in one place. That is so interesting. So even though they don't have bodies, and even though they apply themselves to a place by intellect and will, no two of them can apply themselves to the exact same place at the exact same time. So they got to be like next to each other, but not in the same place exactly. That is really, really interesting. That concludes question number 52 of the Summa Theologia. Tomorrow, be sure to come back, because we're going to talk about the knowledge of the angels. How do angels come to know things? Okay, we come to know things through our senses. Well, they don't have senses, they don't have eyes, but they have intellect. So how do they come to know things? We will tackle that question tomorrow in the Summa Theologia. Thank you for studying the Summa, one question at a time, and hope to see you tomorrow. God bless you. St. Thomas Aquinas, pray for us.